Logan Paul, a famous YouTuber turned wrestler turned actor turned philanthropist, has just published a video of his new house in Puerto Rico, a $32.5 million mansion. And as someone who's studying currently interior design, I wanted to make an honest video about it, about how I see the house, because I've seen that the house is really, really great and all this stuff, but that it's not really good for its worth and that it has a lot of problems. There is a great video that I saw by Arvin Haddad, which makes a very, very deep dive into the house and the problems with it, the numerous issues that it has, and I want to make a soft critique on the interior design of the house.
So much stuff. Well, I'll tell you, we just got a new crib in Puerto Rico, which we're pretty excited about. I'm leveling up in my life.
So one of the first things that I wanted to say of the video before I start critiquing the house and all the stuff, the interiors, I want to say that I'm not going to critique anything of Logan Paul. I think he is as much of a hard worker and grinder as you can get, despite all the critiques about his persona, his past events, and all this stuff. So I think he is, despite for better or for worse, he is successful in what he does. He is extremely successful, and that is really undebatable at this point with a 32.5 million purchase of a home. So I will not, I will avoid all these things and just go straight into the house. Pretty nice, to be honest.
3 years, but we got a new one.
Wow.
We're going to do the official walkthrough right now. Tomorrow we sign papers and that's it.
So I've been looking at houses for like a year here. I've seen a lot of them. When I walked into this one, I had the feeling like...
Okay, so one of the fun facts about this is that it's located in El Dorado, Puerto Rico, which is like a zone that is one of the very, very few zones in Puerto Rico where you have a lot of expats, and these expats that have a lot of money, they want to go somewhere that's really, really close to the US. It's kind of connected in some way, but it also has its own laws, financial and other stuff, and your money can go a lot further. Okay, so the beginning here, this, like, is this a different floor or is it a carpet? That's strange because it's unmatching with the floor that you get there. So it's maybe trying to separate the entrance from the whole living room, which is something that you would probably want in a house, but it kind of feels a little bit off. I don't see much. Yeah. So I might imagine that it's like a carpet or something. So yeah, it's a different floor. It's not a carpet. That is weird. That the way this entrance starts with this weird marble like sort of walk-in is strange. This little space here, just above the staircase. The staircase is horrible. The staircase is horrible. It completely disrupts the feng shui of the house. When you have a house like this, usually you want to have this, I've seen people call it the wow factor, which is very, very real. You do want to feel like you're walking into a $32.5 million house. But yeah, so like you do want to feel this way, and this staircase is very, very strange. Since a lot of these big houses get big doors, is usually the thing. It's usually the common law. So when you get these big doors, you want to really push that open and reveal this nice living room, sort of living space area. And here you do have a lot of problems with the staircase. That's horrible and just kind of cuts in the middle. And it looks really awkward. And that's weird for a staircase. That's not something you want in a property like this. The living room is lacking, to say the least. It has two couches, right? One facing the window, which is probably what you want in a house like this, because you always want to sit down when you come to your house. You want to sit down and enjoy your $1 million view. And this is something that has to be done. But here the feng shui is all over the place, because you do have this couch, which is very, very weirdly set up, and the one in front of it is also kind of weird too. And it's also against the view as well, which is something that you don't want. A very, very, very strange living room for a $32.5 million house. It certainly doesn't scream luxury, but the house itself is luxury, which is very, very strange. Marble is pretty much what you're gonna find in these types of houses, in these types of rich zones, and in these types of weather, like Puerto Rico's weather, which is really, really humid and warm. You're gonna find marble because marble is very, very cool. It's very, very cool. It's stone. So yeah, to be honest, I think the marble goes really, really well. I had a table just like this one with those kinds of chairs like that. So I do get it. And I lived in Cancun and in Miami for a bit. And to be honest, I do kind of get this whole thing. Sure, this is something that he probably liked, so it's fine. It's cool. So the wine cellar here, underneath the stairs, is not ideal for a home this size and a home this price. It's certainly not great looking. Goes into the living room a little bit. I feel like it's a little bit sort of not invasive, but too incognito, which is not something that you want for something like a wine cellar, right? This is common to have wine cellars in houses where, you know, the weather is like warm, and you have to have this little room where you keep all your wines and all that stuff. If you're a wine collector, which in those houses with those prices you probably are, just because. And to be honest, this one is small and not really incredible. No paintings, no anything on the wall either, which doesn't make it feel homey. It makes it kind of feel like you're walking into a museum, kind of living in like MoMA or something, which is something that I also don't like. The black really stands out. It really, really stands out. And to be honest, it's not bad for something to stand out in your home, right? It's something that you probably want. But the black here, it's distracting. From the rails to the underneath here and all this stuff, it's distracting. And there's no harmony in this space, right? It doesn't feel harmonious. It doesn't feel homey. It feels like you just kind of have your big space and you just kind of fill it up with stuff, right? That you found that you liked. You didn't really have any like color palette in mind, any type of harmony, any type of like, the couch is really, really small, and which is fine. I guess he probably likes those kind of couches, which like really, really small. But to be honest, it doesn't stand out at all. The little piece behind here, like this, sort of to put like figures and books and all this stuff, where you put your decorations, plants maybe, is a little higher than the couch, which is not something that you usually want. Going straight from your living room to the pool is great. That's an awesome detail, that these houses like this are no-brainers. You're gonna have a nice pool, nice infinity edge pool that's just gonna see over all the jungle and everything nice. So that's great. That's great. The pool is awesome. A lot of flora and fauna, right? That's what you say in Spanish, flora y fauna. And that's great. That's great. That's something you want in a house like this. Nature. Nature is what you want in a place like Puerto Rico and in a house that's $32.5 million. Okay. Here we have his beautiful wife, his kid, and off to the background, we have the furniture on the outside. The furniture on the outside is very, very common, which is not something I expected to see from Logan Paul. So you would kind of think that you will have like sort of this vibe where you kind of have this punchy, like kind of like outdoorsy furniture, but here it's very, very normal. It's 2 sets, which is fine because you do have a lot of space, but they're cut in the middle. Let me see if I can see. Yeah, so they are cut in the middle by this swinging, which this swing couch is pretty fucking cool. This swing couch is pretty fucking cool, but it is not really well placed because you kind of want to have this either at the end of where all your furniture is at, in the outside, so you kind of have like this feeling, or something more important here that I would probably do is suggest to just flip it. To flip it so that you can see the whole jungle and everything, to have this amazing view, and to have this swing, like this swing couch, which just looks amazing, and it probably feels very, very relaxing to sit on and to swing on. So first of all, that's what I would change. What I get from the furniture in this place sometimes is that somebody just kind of put it there. They didn't really think about it. They just kind of fucking like said like fucking fill all the space, right? That yard here is worth it. That is an awesome yard where you can have your dog. He has a dog, so his dog is gonna run around that bitch a lot of times, and that's awesome. Lot of fucking space. Lot of space. Here in this space, I think you could go even a step further here. I think you could put like a little bonfire here, like a wood bonfire, which would be really cool, or like a marble bonfire, maybe, and it would change completely. It would make it also a main aspect of the house, of the yard, and it would actually make it a lot more inviting to you as a person to sit down and to just enjoy your yard too. The outside looks great. I don't like a lot of the black details. It really subtracts from the very beautiful like white house that you want to have here. Another issue I see here. So you have an elevator, but you only have 2 floors in this house. I do think this is kind of like just kind of having an elevator to just say that you do. Okay, so this is the main bedroom. The main bedroom is cool. You have your own little like island here as well, where you have your own like couch to the view as well. All in all, the house is pretty good. It's great. It does have a lot of things that are kind of off and just kind of put there just to be sort of placed and not really with an intent. And that is kind of the main issue when you really want somebody that's very, very much an expert, or you could call, in interior design. But to be honest, the house is fine. I give it for what I could see, I give it like a solid 7 out of 10. It's great. The price really brings down this whole aspect of the house and its worth, because for a $30 million house, you do want something that is a trendsetter. You want something that is just a stop and no go. You want it to be intense. You want it to be homey. You want it to have every single need and aspect that you could possibly think of covered. And this house, I feel like, doesn't really cover that. And I really think it's super overpriced for what you get at the very end. From what I could see, it's a solid 7 out of 10. Price brings it down significantly. Otherwise, it would be maybe an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching.